Okay, bonjour tout le monde. Hello everybody. Je suis à Carcassonne. I'm at Carcassonne in the Languedoc region of southwest France. Plane today is this very simple Cessna 152. It's the plane we all start out in with you're taking your flight lessons or just beginning in Microsoft Flight Simulator. Start out in this plane. And why Carcassonne? Well, I was here in 1967 when I was a young lad of 22, so like 55 years ago after college. And there's just a wonderful preserved and restored, whichever way you want to say it, medieval walled city here. And when I was here, I stayed in town and we walked up to this fortified city on a hill. It has a wall all around it, just fabulous, so I wanted to show it to you. And I've got some notes I made on it here for Wikipedia, stuff I didn't know at the time. I just wandered around Europe with no sense of history or anything, just an idiot tourist anyway. So I'm going to take off. It's a simple flight. I'm going to fly around Carcassonne several times. The broader city itself is pretty interesting. Try to keep this Cessna at a consistent low altitude where we can fly slowly and see it. Flaps are set, so let's go. Oh, gonna go up to maybe 1,100 feet, something like that. Level off and try to level off. Flaps, that would be good. It'll help us level off. You can see by that point of interest up there, road sign that shouldn't be there. That's the walled city. Fly around it several times, maybe fly around the whole area. I'm gonna land. So I took some notes. This city was settled, it's been settled for this hilltop anyway, permanent settlement, continuous settlement for over 5,000 years. First signs of settlement in the, Neolithic period, about 3,500 BCE, before Christian era. I'm going to keep this ecumenical. And the Romans came here about 100 BCE and started fortifying this hilltop. And they stayed for about 500 years. And then in the 5th century AD, they ceded the place to the Visigoths. And I read Theodoric II of the Visigoths started further fortifying the place. And some of those fortifications still remain. So there's the old, it's really neat, it's very compact, walls intact, moat all the way around. And in this corner, there's an amphitheater right there. And in 1967, when I came here, I went to a Greek play, see a Greek play in that amphitheater. And I don't know if they were doing it in French or Greek, but, you know, I hate to make a bad pun. It was all Greek to me, whatever it was. Anyway, you can see this is really a nifty walled city, and I've seen a lot of, in real life, been to a lot of old cities in Europe, and this is one of the most carefully preserved anywhere. Now, actually, it was in the 19th century. They were going to raise the place, and there was a big campaign to save it, and so they began restoring it in 1853. So probably a lot of what's there today is restored, not original, but the foundations apparently, you can still see Roman bricks in some place, and I wasn't looking for that when I was there a long time ago. Anyway, one thing this Carcassonne is noted for, there was a Catholic group called the Cathars. Well, they weren't Catholics, that was the point. These Cathars, this was their capital, and I didn't know what the difference was. Being Jewish, I don't make a lot of distinctions. What the difference was is the Cathars believed really there was a good God and a bad God, a good God and an evil God. We're stalling. They believed there was a good God and an evil God, which was heresy for the Catholic Church, so there was only one. The good God of the Cathars, what I read this morning, in fact, on Wikipedia, was God of the New Testament. So you can guess who the bad God was. That was the God of the Old Testament. In other words, they thought the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob was evil. Well, the church didn't like that. Yeah, maybe it's the one time the church didn't like something that was that period that was pretty blatantly anti-Semitic. Anyway, there's a good view of the city, the old city, the original Carcassonne. Anyway, church didn't like that, so there was a crusade against these Cathars, and it was called the Albigensian Crusade, based on the place where it originated, Alba or someplace like that. And in 1209, the Cathars who were left in the city, who hadn't been killed in the outer lying area, because it was pretty brutal, they were expelled, every man, woman, and child, and they had to leave the place with all they had were the clothes on their backs and maybe some pots and pans, I don't know. Anyway, they were thrown out, and probably a lot of them just died. That was probably pretty cathartic for the Catholic Church. Bad pun. Anyway, rest of the history in something like 1247, according to my notes, these Carcassonne became part of the country of France, which was still not everything that France is today, because there were a lot of areas that were not yet unified under French rule. That's about all I have about the history. I should check my gas tank. I don't really know how much gas I have. It'd be terrible to run out. Anyway, so this is one of the, I think, best rendered, well, the best, one of the most that I've seen, and there are many of them, really beautifully rendered cities, places in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. And it looks a little bit cartoon-like here. If you ever go to southwest France, you have to go to Carcassonne. One of the people who visited here when he was jauntering around Europe was John F. Kennedy. And there's a big church. You see a path down there. So you stay in town and you just walk up to the castle. I don't know if they charge admission. They probably do nowadays. Back when I was there, you just walked in. And I forget the name of this river. Anyway. So, let's look at the rest of the town. I came to Carcassonne en route from, I think I was coming from Bordeaux and headed towards Spain. So after Carcassonne, and it was all by train, well, might have gone to Madrid. On that trip I went to Madrid, I went to Barcelona, and I went to the Costa Brava, I think it was called, or the Costa del Sol, which is on the Mediterranean, beach towns, resort towns. But we've been up and down altitude-wise. Now we're up to about 2,000 feet. I'd want to go down again, get a closer look. Make one more loop around the medieval city, and maybe head back to the airport. It's probably enough. Well, this is a good plane for sightseeing, despite the fact that you have the high wing that gets in the way when you're turning, and the strut and so forth, because it's very slow. You can go down to 40 some miles an hour without stalling, but trying to go anywhere, any distance at all, is kind of frustrating, because it's just too darn slow for me. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the airport. I'm going to do a left hook pattern, enter the landing pattern, and so the active runway here is 9 today. Looked it up. So that's what it said on the weather report. That's why I took off from 9.
Carcassonne Tower, Cessna Kilo Yankee India Victor Alpha India Romeo, 1,400 feet to land.
Cessna Kilo Yankee India Victor Alpha India Romeo, Carcassonne Tower. Altimeter tree 0.001078 at 12. Fly left traffic runway 9 left.
And that's what we're doing.
Fly left downwind runway 9 left Cessna Alpha India Romeo.
So left traffic means you gotta keep the runway in view on your left. Pretty hard to see it out the right. I don't know if anybody ever flies right traffic. So the active here is runway 9. We are a couple hours off local time. It's probably 7 o'clock local. When I initially started, it was getting close to sunset and wanted more lights. Okay.
Clear to land runway 9er, left Cessna Alpha India Romeo.
I'm using a trim wheel on my physical trim wheel to try to keep this plane level, but it's wanting to kind of bob and weave up and down. Should have set a heading indicator for the runway. Anyway, I'm going to go out, give myself enough leeway to the east, or to the west rather. We're flying westerly now. Enough leeway westerly so that I have time to turn back and find the runway, which is a little challenging in these high-wing planes. And I've got to watch my airspeed, which has been creeping down, getting down to where I could stall. Alright, I'm gonna see if I turn back. Whoop, there we go. Stall warning. Where's the airport? There it is. Okay. We gotta get down here. We're doing the crosswind leg now. So I'm gonna cut it kind of short. And gotta get down quite a bit. And try to line up. Some flaps to slow down, more flaps, and reduce the throttle. So this is all eyeball. This is what you do when you're first learning to fly in one of these things. I am not using any. I don't have any guidance, no radio, nothing to line up with on my panels. If they have a localizer, I couldn't find it. Got full flaps. And I've got to line up to this runway. Is pretty straight from my perspective. We're under 2 miles, 1.5 miles to the runway. Let's see if I can bring this in. got it. Nice little airport. I don't know why there aren't any charts for it. Basically cut the throttle down to nothing. And just let the plane settle onto the runway.
Cessna Alpha India Romeo, contact ground on 134.5.
That's it. Hope you enjoyed this flight.
Carcassonne ground, Cessna Kilo Yankee India Victor Alpha India Romeo, request taxi to the gate.
Cessna Kilo Yankee India Victor Alpha India Romeo, taxi to gate Charlie 4 using taxiway Bravo Tango 2.
Okay. Which is what? There we go. My cheaters. Although taxiing here can't be very complicated.
Cessna Alpha India Romeo,
Taxi to gate Charlie 4 via taxiway Bravo Tango to Cessna Alpha India Romeo.
No, I don't like this. The way they're making me go is awfully close to the buildings, and if you hit one of those, the whole thing's done. That'd be embarrassing. Okay, that's it. So, I hope you enjoyed this flight. I did. Well, until I see you again, I'll say au revoir and good day.